Russia's invasion of Ukraine has heightened tensions surrounding Vladimir Putin's nuclear arsenal. Russian state media reporting Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov has warned if a third world war were to take place, it would be destructive and would involve nuclear weapons. The warning comes after Lavrov accused Ukraine of trying to acquire nuclear weapons. Vladimir Putin also placing what he calls Russia's nuclear deterrence forces on, quote, heightened alert. Ukraine was once the third largest nuclear power in the world after the collapse of the Soviet Union. It doesn't have any nuclear weapons today. It surrendered them to Russia in the 90s in exchange for security protections and a guarantee it would never invade the country. Nina Tannenwald is with us now. She is a political scientist at Brown University, focusing on nuclear weapons and the laws of warfare. Nina, thank you so much for being with us. Do you think that Ukraine looks back now and regrets giving up its nuclear arms?
Thank you for inviting me. So undoubtedly, many people look at this situation and say that Ukraine should have kept its nuclear weapons, and if it had, maybe it wouldn't be in this current situation. But realistically, there was no possibility at the time for Ukraine to keep its nuclear weapons. It did not control the codes for the nuclear weapons. It could not have launched this nuclear arsenal. And it is very likely that if Ukraine had tried to hang on to the weapons that were on its soil, these were essentially controlled by Russia, but they were stationed on Ukrainian territory. If Ukraine had tried to hold on to these, Russia would probably have invaded Ukraine earlier before these weapons could have been made operational. So it's possible Ukrainian scientists would eventually have figured out the codes, but it's the sort of picture that Russia just gave up these nuclear weapons and maybe, that Ukraine just gave up these nuclear weapons and maybe it could have kept them. That's a very simplistic picture, and it's actually not true.
Yeah, thank you.
The world is probably safer that it didn't keep them.
Well, we appreciate the historical context because that makes sense. But spinning forward to today, what do you make of the latest threats coming out of Russia? How concerning are they?
They are concerning. So the likelihood that we will get into a nuclear war, that somebody will use a nuclear weapon, is remote, but it's not nothing. And raising that risk is unacceptable. So this is not the first time Putin has rattled his nuclear saber. He did so also in 2014 during Russia's invasion of Crimea then. And he likes to wave about his nuclear weapons. It's a way to remind the West that Russia is still a great power. And in this case, he wants to make it very clear that the West and NATO should not intervene to defend Ukraine. So that's a very generalized kind of threat. But nevertheless, it's completely unacceptable and inappropriate. And the world has not seen a use of nuclear weapons since 1945. And we now have a 77-year tradition of non-use of nuclear weapons. So that is the single most important legacy of the nuclear age. And so it's very important to preserve that. World leaders should make clear that Putin's nuclear threats are absolutely unacceptable.
I know you have called on former U.S. presidents to basically put out a statement to discourage the continued disuse, non-use of nuclear arms. And we hope, obviously, that that is the case, singular case scenario in this conflict. Nina Tannenwald, thank you so much. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.